Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome aboard to Animal Advocacy Radio, Voices Carry for Animals, number 460 podcast this evening and counting. This is just so wonderful. This platform for all the animals in need and distress, going on over 10 years now and still going strong. And that is, I got to give all the credit to all the wonderful former guests out there, and the callers and the listeners. I mean, it's been amazing, so very informative and educating us and bringing the awareness. Can't thank all you enough out there because I can't do it alone, you know. But I'm going to go over a couple of things before we get started. The show was closed down last week during to Hurricane Milton, and it has been devastating down here, everyone. I mean, from Hurricane Helene to Hurricane Milton, it's been something else. I mean, terrifying. And hurricanes and tornadoes are no joke out there. So if you can, put a little love in your heart and do your part and help them out. Hope and pray that more of the athletes and the celebrities and the businesses and the corporations step up to the plate and help out. Because money makes the world go round out there, and there's no need for greed. Help the victims of Hurricane Helene and Milton and all the tornadoes that hit down here in Florida. I thank God I'm safe here. There was nothing happened, kept the electric and everything, but some were not so fortunate. And these disasters do not stop. We go through something every year, many either tornadoes or hurricanes, fires, or whatever the case may be. But, you know, help them get their feet back on the ground, bringing them hope. Because, you know, if you've lost everything that you own, you are down and out. And with all of us coming together, it takes teamwork from every angle. You know, so prayers for all of the victims out there of the tornadoes, and I mean, it is horrifying of Hurricane Helene and also Hurricane Milton. So hopefully we can rebuild and start our lives out there and refresh and help one another. Okay, so I'm just going to go for a couple more things before we do get started here. My name is Debbie Dahmer, a.k.a. Mama Bear. And Mama Bear does care because she is on the air. I'm so glad to be back this week because missed it. It's been very, very stressful out there. So I know Florida has had like 19 tornado touchdowns. I mean, these hurricanes, it's devastating to see all these photos and videos. So what we got to do is play as a team and help them out if we can, So, but anyway, I am. This show is coming live from my website, www.voicescarryforanimals.com, everyone. And you could follow my podcast, just subscribe free, and you'll get a confirmation in your email. Just click it, and you're right in there. The more of us animal advocates under one roof, the better out there. There's so much we could do and work as a team, because that's what matters out there, everyone. We cannot give up, because once we do, we automatically lose. And I got a Facebook page on for Voices Carry for Animals. You can follow and info on there. Also, Voices Carry for Animals support group. There's Animals Being Networking that's on death row, and petitions and promos for my show. And also on X, formerly Twitter, I came out this year was a Voices Carry for Animals. I'll follow on there, and on also my personal page. Also, I'm on LinkedIn, and on my Facebook page you can follow. So, hey, the more we get out there and let things go viral and get attention, the faster the changes, because we must contact our state representatives if we want to see any changes made, new laws introduced into legislation. And there are some I have on Facebook that's in my pinned post that says 12 of them, 12 bills for the animals that's in legislation. It's going up for 2024. So please make those calls. The more co-sponsors as state representatives, everyone, the better. And the faster the changes, because there's another one I got to get started back on. There's 7 more after that's in for 2024, but it is on my website, and I'm going to have to repost it. Okay, so we're going to get the show started here. I want to welcome back Erica Salvemini. She is the Rising Lioness, everyone. She's the host, animal advocate, and CEO of Just for Paws Pet Spa. And she is just wonderful. She's an awesome team player. She's my animal warrior sister, and we are working. We work great together at getting the words out. She interviewed me last year on All About Animals Radio with the Rising Lioness, and you can catch that on YouTube, where our interview was wonderful. It was such an honor for her to have me on there. But I want to get her on and get the show and the ball rolling, because we plan on rocking the airways, and that's our game plan. But Erica, how are you?
Debbie.
Welcome back. This is such an honor. How are you,
Debbie?
Oh.
Debbie, thank you for having me on again. It's so great to be here.
Anytime.
It's always an honor. I'm humbled to be a part of your show and just be hitting the airwaves with you. This is amazing. And the work that you do for the animals and the earth and the advocates that work hard, tirelessly every day, you're there for them, giving them a platform so that they can be a voice for the voiceless. So thank you again. And I'm super glad that you were safe after Milton. So I just wanted to say that. I was worried about you. And
thank you.
A lot of people are still reeling from that. So I hope that love and light, I send that out to all of them. So,
yes, because if someone, I don't know if you've seen all those photos in North Carolina, and
to be honest, I try to not. Yeah, being an empath, I can't really handle the graphics of it. Just the knowledge of what has happened and the devastation is kind of the same thing with the animals. So I don't really. I kind of keep the images away, because just hearing about it and knowing it is honestly a lot. And I can't even imagine what everybody's going through. So we'll just, keep the positivity going and send lots of love and light, and, donate time, money, resources, whatever you can to help. And that goes for any other place in the world, for that matter, where it's war torn or wherever, the fact is our planet and the climate shift and everything that's happening with that is affecting everyone everywhere on some level, right? So we're all dealing with something, which kind of gets to the whole topic of what we're here to talk about, right? I mean, why am I here? Why are we here talking about?
Why am I here? Why do I have this podcast? You know, I mean, and do all the advocacy I do, and it happens for a reason. You know, we got connected, you and I together, and everything, and John Bowden, he was the producer and creator of All About Animals Radio. And if
Gary
he didn't
John
start that
Bowden,
up, yes, and we would never be connected, you know. And,
that's right. In fact, I probably wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't even have been out here doing this. He gave me the opportunity, the platform to speak from, and he's wherever you are, Gary, John.
We're looking
Bowden.
for you. You know, we're looking for growling and everything. Where are you?
We got an animal search party out for you, but we know he's there, and he's always doing good work. And he created, he's just created so many wonderful things and wonderful platforms for the animals and for us, the animal advocates, to speak from. And so we're doing our part, right? We're doing what we can.
That's right.
I may be, in my 50s, but I'm still a girl who loves animals and loves her planet. And basically, at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. And I'm a mom now. I'm an intersectional vegan, and I am a social entrepreneur, a Reiki master, and I do shamanic healing, which is, it's like it comes full circle. It's where I started, my connection to the earth, and why I feel so compelled to do this. It's not a question. It's just a drive. It's, there's passion that fuels my engines, and I have to go, because if I don't, then I'm denying who I am, which I would imagine you probably feel pretty similarly. And so do a lot of other people doing what they're doing, whatever it is, whatever, passion drives you. For me, this is it. I need to speak on behalf of the earth. And, it's like, well, I'm sure a lot of people are like, well, what is this new earth? I'm starting to hear a lot about that. What does that even mean? And it's not a new place. It's not a new planet, folks. We're not leaving. We're not going anywhere else. But in a sense, we are, because the idea is that we're raising the consciousness of the planet. And surely everybody's feeling it, right? You feel it every day. You walk out of your house and you meet new people and you have new conversations, and there is a shift happening. And thank goodness, because it's so overdue, right? People want more. People want better. And I'm speaking authentic change, stuff where empathy and compassion win at the end of the day, and neglect and exploitation. And you can apply that to anything. You can apply that to the animals in the world that are being exploited and neglected from, what were supposed to be our loved, our dearly beloved companion animals. And if you look at the shelters, you can see that they're being euthanized en masse because humans can't get their shite together, right? So that's the response. That's how we handle it. It's just, well, euthanize them all, and you wait an hour and then they're gone. It's appalling, and you can apply the exploitation to a lot of other things, like the planet, and we're just not taking care of it the way it's supposed to be. And a lot of it is because we are modernized, and we just keep growing bigger, and everything comes down to the almighty dollar, doesn't it? Where capitalism is running the show, and it just can't be like that anymore. It just can't. And we do have to get back to the essence of who we are as humanity. And so that's what the New Earth is. It's about rising the consciousness of humanity, and it happens on the individual level. We all have to do it. We all have to think about, accountability for ourselves. Everything from where are we spending our money? Who am I going to give my money to? Do I want to continue to be woefully ignorant and pretend that I don't know that company is exploiting small children in another country, and that's how I got the product that I have, to factory farming, to you know, it goes on and on. So that kind of gets at the whole idea of what the new earth is. And how did I get here? Well, again, I just Gary John Bowden, he got me onto you know, podcasting and talking about the animals, and I just continued. And so here we are.
And I'm so glad you did. You know, I look at it and I said, wow, you are the Rising Lioness, you know. Wow. That is you, Erica.
You're a trip. Well, you know, that's kind of a personal story. Through COVID, we all had to go through some stuff, right? And for me, it was a culmination of a lifetime of stuff. And everybody's got a story, and everybody had their trials and tribulations, especially through COVID. And a lot changed for me personally, even professionally. You know, it was like change was all happening whether I wanted it to, all at once. And there's times in all of our lives where we have these soul, and you think, my God, how will I get out of this deep, dark well? And you just do. You do. You know, you make your way back, you pull yourself up, and if you have, depending on how many layers you have, if it's a lifetime's worth, which for me it was, you know, grew up in a really dysfunctional household and narcissists for parents and wildly dysfunctional sibling dynamics and stuff like that. So I always had the animals my whole life. They were always there. I was born and there they were, cats, always a dog, rabbits, ferrets, you name it. And without them, I would not have survived. And I always knew that no matter what, none of the rest of the stuff around me seemed real, but the animals always were. And that was always pure. And that was always an anchor for me. And I knew I always wanted to just, they were all I ever wanted to be around. They were the only thing that gave me peace. And I know a lot of other people feel that way too, which is why everybody loves their companion animals so much, right? Because they do heal us and they do provide a lot of peace and comfort. And so, you know, years pass and I go into marketing, go into event planning. I work for a global software firm. I'm director of marketing. And I just, after a while, I wasn't happy anymore. I was burnt out and fried. And I loved the work, but it just wasn't doing it for me. My soul was craving more. And it was around that time that I made the switch. I was in my 30s, and I decided I was gonna go for it. I needed to work with animals. I knew I had to do that, and I wasn't going to go back to veterinary school. I wasn't going to go to veterinary school, I should say, in my 30s. That wasn't a possibility, and I loved being creative. So I thought, well, let me try out this grooming gig and see what that's about. And I started a pet spa. I started at mobile, and then I eventually opened up a shop. And at the same time, I started delving into more spiritual aspects of my life and became a Reiki practitioner, then went and studied further, became a Reiki master. And then I also was delving into shamanic, like energy work. And it just always seemed to fit. It always made sense for me. And I was always connected and grounded to the earth. I was always connected to animals on some level, some plane, no matter what, even not in the physical world, but in meditation, in my dreams, even in my waking state through COVID. That's really the strangest stuff. I'm sure a lot of people have interesting stories, but I mean, animals were coming to me in my waking state, like visions, and it was mostly the lions. And so getting back to the Rising Lioness, you know, rising back up, almost like, you know, similar to what they say, the phoenix rising from the ashes. For me, it was the lioness. And the lions were coming to me, and they were showing me that they were all being killed. Trophy hunting was out of control. Everybody was just like, all right, we're just going to go full bore into complete annihilation of the animal kingdom. We're going to exploit the hell out of them. We're going to make as much money as we can. And I just kept getting shown that day after day after day after day. And I was like, I can't anymore. And that's when I started putting my feelers out and the law of attraction, right? Before you know it, I get this contact who connects me to another person. And then before you know it, I meet Bowden, and we start talking. And within days, I'm working on how to become a podcast host and possibly a radio show host. So it's wild, but it was just meant to be. It was never like, oh, I don't know, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. And mind you, I've always been very like, I in my younger years never had the confidence to speak out and speak up. But when you have convictions for something that's just so deeply like embedded into your core, you don't have a choice. So I don't even think about, are you insane? What are you doing? You're not a public speaker. How are you out there doing this? If I stop too long and think about it, then yeah, I will be a little bit more nervous than I'm letting on right now. So, but it's just what needs to be. And I think more and more people, whatever that means, whether it's you're on your local radio show, whether you're on, at a local fundraiser, whether you're talking to your children, whether you're talking to the PTA, it doesn't matter. If you need to do something, do it. Don't second guess yourself. If it feels right and you're being driven to help, grow this raising of consciousness on this planet so that we can all live in a peaceful, harmonious, interconnected way. And that just means that, the animals and the non-human animals and the planet, we can all live and coexist and in a way that is respectful to all of us. And, advocating for the animals is just, it's such a cornerstone of getting there, because without that understanding and understanding how integrally, I'm messing up my words here, how integrated they are in the health of the planet. If we don't understand that, then we're never going to get to where we need to be. So, attitudes need to shift. They are shifting. But the more that we all, one by one, like ants marching, come together, we can really make this shift powerful and make it happen. And everybody's got that inside of them. Everybody's got that soul essence in them to feel who they really, truly are. And that's really what this gets to, is tapping into that. And just, that term cognitive dissonance, which has been floating around a lot more lately. And, a lot of people have heard about it in their abnormal psych class, probably in college. But, it basically gets to aligning your actions, everything that you do in life, with your values and your beliefs. What do you believe in? And if you're not doing things that align with your values, then you are in cognitive dissonance. And that could be anything from loving animals, like with your heart and soul, and still being able to pay money into the system that exploits and harms, tortures, and abuses them. And that doesn't mean that anybody that still eats animals is a bad person. It just means that they're disconnected from how they really feel, because most people don't want to harm animals. Most people are good people and believe that they would love for animals to feel happy and feel at peace and feel freedom from suffering. And isn't that something that we all inherently, it's our birthright, isn't it? So, but that gets to, you can apply that to anything, cognitive dissonance. Why do we do anything that we do? And then afterwards you get that sick feeling in your stomach, like, oh, I knew I shouldn't have done that. Why did I do it? And if we can just work on our self-actualization, and what does that mean? It just means that we're tapping into, who am I? Why am I here? What am I doing? What do I believe in? do I really believe in what I'm doing? Do I really believe in where I'm spending my money or who I'm spending time with, who I, let my kids hang out with, the job that I work at? If the things that we're doing are making us feel sick every day, then we need to change it. And that's basically what it gets down to, and that's where it starts, really. You do anything else without that. It's like putting the cart before the horse. So anyway, I've been talking too long.
Right, it's so true, because we can all make positive changes in our lives, whether it's helping out, what other issues out there when we all multitask and help out other, issues out there. If we double in strength, triple in strength, quadruple in strength, because there's so many of them out there that just want, take care of one cause and that's it. And they don't want to, step over and help any other, other ones, because they're either, they're placed on overload or whatever the case may be.
That's right.
But, we can all, I sit there, not only this podcast, Erica, I sit down and take care of business, whether signing petitions, calling the representatives, or writing letters, or on social media, Facebook, X, and LinkedIn, passing the awareness out there, or,
and inspiring others to do the same. So, kudos to you. And that's the thing. We can all do something, and it can be very, very small. It can just be saying the right thing to the right person on one day. And if that's all you can do, that's okay. If you can do more, then aren't we compelled to do more? That's kind of where I got to that point. And I read something a while ago from some very smart guru. It was like, if you can, you must. And it never left me. If you can, you must. And if you cannot, well, then decide and do no harm. And that is, I think, everything. And we all can do something, whatever that is.
Yes. Well, because every effort counts out there, right? Every effort counts. And when if we do nothing, expect no changes, and the problems get worse. And who pays the price? The animals. And we want to see better lives in the future.
Yeah, and then we all pay the price. We can't complain if we're not doing anything. Can't be a what do they call it, a Monday morning quarterback, where you just bitch and complain about everything that was done wrong, but you're just sitting there in your armchair doing nothing. So let's not be that. We can do more, and it does really start with the individual. We all have to. It gets back to like, I had to work through years and years and years of stuff, layers of stuff. First it starts with the family stuff and how you were raised and what's my patterning and what am I doing? Oh, that's why I keep picking the wrong relationship partners. Oh, that's why I can't hold down a job not that I had that problem, but these are all things that we experience, and everything does relate back to how were you raised? What were you seeing? What were your role models doing? And then we emulate that. So that has to get deconstructed. And it doesn't have to be done through clinical therapy. It can be done that way, but that can be used as one tool. You can do all sorts of things. Meditation, self-love and self-care is critical. Like, that's at the top of the list. If you don't love yourself enough, I know that sounds cliche, but Jesus, that is not the truest statement ever said. If our very first relationship is supposed to be with ourselves, and that should be the first marriage, because if you can't figure that shit out, what chance could we possibly have of having a decent, solid, healthy boundaries, safe relationship with anybody else? And I figured that out the hard way, which, like everybody else does, that is why we're here. It's to learn and figure stuff out, and then hopefully you get up and rise up out of that, ergo the Rising Lioness, and you can then help others and show others, and then become a way shower for, hey, I did this. This worked for me. Maybe you can try it, or try another way. But the point is, we all have I believe, a personal responsibility to get ourselves to a place where we can do more so that we're not just merely existing and not just merely surviving. Because that doesn't feel good anyway, right? Who wants to live like that? We should all, I do believe that everybody does innately want more than that. And we can all have it. You know, it's not just for the gurus on the top of the mountain. It's not just for the Buddhas and the Gandhis and Jesus. And it was taught for a reason, so to show us that we can all do this. We are all designed to be able to tap into our true soul essence, and that's step one. And then from there, it just gets better. And hopefully, if we're all doing this and the collective conscious is raising, then the new earth is rising. And eventually it won't be new earth rising. It'll just be the new earth. And here we are. We will arrive. And does that mean that there's going to be no problems? And no, of course not. But, you know, hopefully we can do away with mass exploitation, and we can replace, divisiveness with inclusion, and we can coexist, all beings, no matter your race, your creed, whether you're human or non-human animal. Is that a ding-a-ling? Is somebody ringing your doorbell, Debbie?
Somebody's at the door. We love it when the doorbell rings.
I love it.
It's a packed house, Erica. This is wonderful.
Nice.
But,
all right, I'll stop
yapping. Let me know when you want to take calls, okay?
Yeah,
we've got another hot show this evening. You know, I'm so glad to be back on air this night, because last Thursday was a nightmare, you know?
That's right.
And,
well,
you know, I said I got to think positive, rejuvenate, get strong again, and keep going. Don't give up. You know, don't give up.
It.
Don't give in and don't give up. Yep.
Absolutely.
So I'm glad. But whenever you're ready for calls, you let me know. I will take
I'm ready. Go ahead.
Okay. And everyone, if you're listening by the internet and you have any questions or comments for Erica, the Rising Lioness, the number is 310-982-4270. Press 1 and you'll be in the queue, okay? Just try to be patient and I'll try to get to you. Try to refrain from any noises in the background, TV, radios, conversations, and you're more than welcome to come on board. If anyone came in late this evening, all these shows are archived, okay? So you can go to my website, www.voicescarryforanimals.com, and after 20 minutes after the show has been downloaded, it will be ready to listen to. Or you can go to www.blogtalkradio.com/Voices Carry for Animals, and it'll be under on-demand episodes. I love this platform. It's so awesome because they're all archived, you know, Erica, and go back and listen to them anytime. And you can also follow my podcast. They're just under the logo. This is awesome, too. Press follow on my logo, Animal Advocacy Radio, and then you put your email address in. And once there's an upcoming broadcast, it will alert you in your primary email. Please spread the word, because the bigger the audience, everyone, and action takers, the better for the animals, okay? And we got Erica. I wanted to repeat this. She on YouTube. She has the Rising Lioness on there. Check her out. You've had some great shows there, Erica. I mean, great guests, great info, everything. Please give her your support, everyone. Area code 702. Welcome to Animal Advocacy Radio. Voices Carry for Animals. Live and on air. Go right ahead. Erica,
hello, Erica and Debbie. This is Carolyn, your Facebook friend.
Hello.
Debbie.
Yes, my Facebook
Good evening
friend.
from Wheeling, West Virginia.
Yes. How are you?
I am great, and everything that you talked about, Erica, it describes what I went through too. So I share that with you.
Wow. Well, that's
kindred.
amazing.
Yeah, kindred. Yeah, it's a kindred spirit.
Kindred spirits, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that kind of makes sense. It fits with all the animal advocacy stuff. I tend to. I find that I run into people a lot like that who, it almost feels like you're from the same tribe, like that, same spiritual energy. And animal advocacy is a lot of times the anchor that brings people like us together, which is a beautiful thing, I think.
Mm-hmm. And I turned to animals myself, though, ever since I was a kid, though, and I turned vegan, though, later, though. I wasn't raised vegan like how these Gen Alphas, they're fortunate. They were born at a time when, yes. And, I quarterly invite people, though. I do ask people quarterly to invite, try it out. I don't push it, or get aggressive. But I couldn't do that. It's just not me.
I agree. On the same way.
I just don't do it.
It's I think it's important for everybody to, no matter what it is, people have to make their own decisions and come to the choices in their own time. Because if that's not the case, if you're being forced into something, then that's not really free will, and then it's not pure. So I think more people are starting to see the benefits of a plant-based diet for many different reasons. And the animals, it's nice that they could be at the top of the priority list for that choice. But I wasn't raised vegan either. I mean, I was born in the 70s, so I never really ate much animal protein. It was very sparse and far and few between, and then it was mainly vegetarian. And then 5 years ago, I've been strictly vegan, and it just was a natural progression of things. But I never cram it down people's throats. I try to, compassion is, if you're going to talk the talk, you better walk the walk. And I can't espouse compassion for everyone if we're not going to have compassion also for people that we don't agree with. And just because we don't agree doesn't mean that we have to be enemies. We can still have respectful discourse and share information and ideas, and eventually, there's going to be influence one way or another, and people will have to come to their decisions on their own, right? I think so.
And my awakening happened at age 8, though. I'll let other people talk, but my awakening happened at age 8, but I had to wait till I was age 35 because I didn't know all that stuff. Back then in the 80s, there was rarely any vegan products. Everything was mostly vegetarian. That was limited to vegetarian in the 90s, and the new millennium hit, and that's when pretty much everything went vegan. Yeah, it's come a long way. And more vegan options, that is. And depending on where you live, you can get some really insane, fabulous vegan fare. So, and, you can get it anywhere, but in some, like California and New York City, you can get some really unbelievable vegan food. So, yeah, it was great talking to you again. Great talking to you. And thank you, Debbie.
Hey, anytime. It's so great to hear your voice, Facebook friend. You're awesome. And you just stay on air, okay? The airwaves are rocking. I knew that would happen, Erica. This is awesome. I love that. Okay.
You're a catalyst, Debbie.
Erica 540. Welcome to Animal Advocacy Radio, Voices Care for Animals. You're live and on the air. Do you have any comments or questions for Erica? Go right ahead.
You're speaking to me now?
Yes.
Is it my turn? Okay.
Yes,
I just wanted to make sure. Hi. My name is Tammy, and like I said, I'm calling from Culpeper, Virginia, and I was giving this podcast information by my best friend that we've been friends for a long time, since we were teenagers. And anyway, I don't want to take up a whole bunch of time because I know there's probably people wanting to speak, but I just wanted to put this out there. You touched on cognitive dissonance and incognitive dissonance, and I have that same situation going on right now in this county with my baby, my Kuro. I have a Facebook page, Justice for Kuro. Back in August of 2023 on the 17th. It was 7:12 a.m. in the morning. I'll be brief. It's all on my Facebook page. You have to ask to join it because we got tricked into making it private because we were being blamed for something that we weren't doing. So my best friend comes to defense. She makes the group private. So now we can't make it public. But that's okay because my tap-in is God. And, everybody has their own, like you said. But
Tammy, who's Kuro?
Kuro is my Kana Corsa.
Okay.
He is a direct descendant from the Super 6 lineage. The Belmonte lineage is consistently across his lineage. He is the purest, comforting. He is my companion, my peace. Outside of God, that is here on this earth with me right now, and I own 5 of them. And I love them. They're guardians, and I firmly believe because I am spiritual. I read the Bible, and I believe, and I know. When you know, you know, you know. No matter what it is, like you said, Erica, when you know, you know. And I know what God can do, and I'll just leave it at that. But my dog, Kuro, on August 17th, a deputy from the county came here to my home unannounced at 7:12 a.m. in the morning with a civil paper for my son who does not live here with me and hasn't for years. Now, a civil paper should not be served before 8 a.m., and it should be posted on my front door unless it's blocked with obstruction. She never called in her location. There was a 911 dispatch call that went across Culpeper County that everyone heard that knew me and knew my address. She came to my back deck, unannounced with a gate enclosed. I have a swimming pool. I had just let my 2 males, Kuro and his puppy, Jericho, out to go potty. They just came back in. I sat down at my dining room table. I'm writing a note for my son because he was absent from school the day before, and my camera monitor beeps, and my dogs start raising Cain. I look up, and there's a deputy car in my driveway. Now, my driveway is very long. I live a mile back on a dirt road and on a 3-acre piece of property, and I have electric underground fencing. I've since then put a fence up, not because of my dogs, but because of, and I'm just going to say this, stupid people.
So let me guess. Your dog did what?
It's been picked up.
Any good dog?
This is so malicious and vindictive, and it is not right what they're doing. We went to court yesterday. I have spent almost $20,000 outside of $1,000 that a volunteer from the animal shelter that connected the dots, figured out who I was. My dog was, okay, let me just back up because you need to know everything.
Well,
but it's all on my Facebook page, and I don't want to take up too much time, so if I am, you can
Debbie
just say.
Can connect later on Facebook and see if we can, maybe lend support for you some way. But I don't take
they
up
are
too
trying
much
to
more time.
euthanize him, and it went from euthanizing him to telling my new attorney they'll let him go free and clear, but I was going to take a felony, and everything in me was saying no. But at the moment, the only thing that, it's wrong with what they're doing.
Tammy, I hate to hear what is going on, but contact me on Facebook or my
see if we can help.
One of the pages and see what we can do here. I can't change anything.
They use him to comfort other dogs in the shelter.
So maybe we can help raise awareness on for you and for Kuro. Okay.
Well, that's right. Definitely. Yep. Because it's sad what's going on.
Yes, it's been a nightmare. It really has.
Okay.
Okay, I will.
Voices Carry for Animals on Facebook.
I wrote it down. I got it.
Okay, or Debbie Dahmer, my Facebook page. Okay, or email me at voicescarryforanimals@AOL.com. Okay.
Oh, yes, I got it.
Okay, you got it?
All right. Yep, I got it. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.
Good luck, Tammy.
Keep listening to the show.
Thank you.
And good luck to you. And let me know.
Oh, God's got it, and I know that. I know that.
Yep.
Sending you love and light.
That's it. Okay, Erica, go right ahead. Yeah, we're rocking the airways. I know that. I'm waiting for the mama cat to call in. Where's she at? Call in the mama cat. She's awesome. She's a former guest. Yeah,
you have someone else calling in?
No, I'm anybody in the queue that wants to speak and or listen to my internet is 310-982-4270. Press 1 and you'll be in the queue. And try to refrain from any noise in the background, okay? And more than glad to have you on air. Area code 719. Here comes my tag team partner here, Mama Cat. Hey, Mama Cat, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How is everybody in the advocate world doing today?
Advocating. Trying to make the best of it.
That's all you can do.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, Mama Cat. How's it going?
Hi, Erica. I'm doing well. How are you doing today?
Good. Having a great day, actually. And this is a wonderful way to wind it down with other animal advocacy friends. And I think we're all in good company here. And it's all for a good cause. So glad to be here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. Totally. I totally agree all the way.
The more shows like this that Debbie does, she spreads awareness of wonderful groups like yours and the activities that you're doing and how we can get on board and help you. And I was wondering if you could tell the people out there your website and all that again, just to make sure that everybody's got it.
It's for me or for Debbie?
For you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yes.
You can find me on my podcast and YouTube show at YouTube under the Rising Lioness. I'm also on LinkedIn under my name, Erica Salvemini. You can find me on Wiki Animal. There's the Animal Talk page, which is a blog. And so it's also called the Rising Lioness under Animal Talk under wikianimal.org. And I also do another blog on Medium. It's a site for writers, any kind of writers, whether you're a novice, whether you're a journalist, but you can start your own blog on there. And so you can find me on Medium. And I think I'm on Instagram, the Rising Lioness.
You're on YouTube too as well, right?
I'm sorry, say that again?
You're on YouTube as well?
Yes, that was what I said first. So you can find me on YouTube on the Rising Lioness, and then also All About Animals Radio has a channel, and that was where I got started. So that even though All About Animals Radio, the network it's not ongoing still, so there isn't more publications coming out, that YouTube site is still there, and all of the podcasts and shows that were created over the last several years are still there. So if you go there, you'll see everything that All About Animals Radio has done in the name of supporting animals. And it's all many different animal advocates from all over the world. And there's amazing, wonderful, great content, very educational, brings awareness to many different subjects having to do with the animals and Earth on there. So I definitely highly encourage everybody to go there and check that out. Same thing with Wiki Animal. That is like Wikipedia, but it's all things animal related, and your mind will be blown on how much information is there. There's so much. If you have the time and you go check it out, you won't be able to leave. There's just so much content in there.
I've been there and I get lost in it.
Yeah, it's very easy to do. And it's just, there's so much wonderful information. Many of it very, heartwarming and heartening, but, also a lot of it is it's tough. It's tough to absorb.
Very tough, yes.
It's hard to imagine that some of this stuff goes on. Like, I think at this point everybody's fully aware of the trophy hunting situation. But beyond that, and factory farming and the regular normal, which is horrific that I have to say normal, but it has become normalized. The exploitative industries that exist, and that these horrible, despicable people and their businesses get to make money off of the suffering and abuse of animals. But then there's different pockets of entertainment and sport and I'm not talking about sport like horse racing. I'm talking about like neighborhoods that have contests where these adults are indoctrinating their kids, giving them guns and sending them out to go do killing contests. And that's what they're actually called, or killing contests. And they, this week it's going to be rattlesnakes. Next week it's going to be pumas. The week after that it's going to, so they go out and they go on these killing sprees, and they take all these pictures and they load them up on social media, and you'll see them all over the place. And so it starts with the adults, but the kids are the ones that are actually like doing it, and it's become a thing. And it's sickening on so many levels, because this is happening, and they're killing the animals for nothing. And they're destroying the lives, the souls of these pure, beautiful children, because children are like all of us. We all start as babies. Then we grow into children and adolescents, but we start out pure, and our souls are pure, and we're just pure love. That's all we are. And so to corrupt a soul that way, a beautiful young child, and give them a gun and say, you're going to go do that, do it now. I mean, I don't even know what to say about that. And so, it's becoming more widely known, and there are areas that are trying to stop it. I know New York State had put out a bill to make that illegal, and I honestly don't know where it is right now, but a lot of states are getting wise to it. But there are other areas that's just like, it's just, they got to distract the people somehow, right? So they don't get pissed and come after us with their pitchforks and want to bang down the town hall. So just let them do their thing, and who cares if it's the animals that have to suffer? But that's just not okay. It's not okay in my book.
Exactly. It's terrible. I mean, you're supposed to bring up your children to, create animals with dignity and respect, just like with adults, and not to do that, because you're going back. If you're training them, we're going to have issues keep going every, year after year, decade after decade, and they think it's okay, and it needs to be stopped. It's cruel and terrible, horrendous.
I'm sorry. Yeah. When I was young, abnormal psychology told us that, and not even that long ago, like when we were going, after like the Jeffrey Dahmers of the world, they always started with, we found out that they were killing and torturing animals first, and that was how they began their career and ended up eventually becoming serial killers. Like, this was always the first clue to finding out somebody was or could possibly be a serial killer. And now it's becoming a normal pattern that we're actually trying and intentionally putting into people. Like, we're programming them to be serial killers. Like, what in the how is this okay? People have to, don't lose sight of this, folks. This is not okay. We shall not be desensitized to this. This is always going to be wrong. And wrong is the understatement of the century in the context of what we're talking about here. So, yeah.
Sickening. It's not right. And it should be told to me it's not right. Stop it. What's the big deal? They don't have to do this. For what?
No.
No.
What
necessity is it? There's no,
go join a club
for it at all. It's just as same as canned honey. Look at that, where they just trap them, and it's like, whoa, we got to get with the times and stop all this. you know, because these animals, they don't stand a chance without us fighting for them, Erica, at all, you know.
That's right.
So we
are their only hope. Without us.
That's right.
And I don't mean just you and I mean humanity. Listen up, folks. Yep. We have to do something, because if we don't do something, we lose the soul of humanity. It is that simple. All you have to do is look around, folks. Like, we have gone down a wrong path, and now we've got to right it. And so it starts with all of us individually, and we can all make changes every single day, little baby steps. It doesn't have to all be done at once. We don't have to get overwhelmed, stressed out, thinking, dear God, what have I done? I've fallen from grace. However will I get to a place where, you know, I want to be? And it's okay. We're all there. We're all there together. So take comfort in knowing that. We're all, it doesn't matter where you come from, what walk of life, how much money you have, how much you don't have, what color you are, your sexual orientation. It doesn't matter. We all are dealing with the same stuff. We all have to peel away the layers, figure out who we are, deconstruct the patterns and the layers of crud and crap and trauma, and eventually we will find that beautiful, golden, pristine soul, that light being that we all are, because that is what we all are. We've got these meat suits, but, you know, that's just what we walk around in every day. But we're these beautiful souls, and we just have to peel away layers. And I don't make it sound simple. It's not. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. I can attest to that. I'm a mom with two beautiful sons who are growing to be, you know, good stewards of this planet, and I love them more than anything. And they're doing what, you know, I'm helping them become that, and that wasn't done for me, and that's okay, because that was part of the plan. And however we all lived before, that's okay. If we can look at that as part of the plan, you know, hold the vision for what you want and trust the process every day. That's my mantra every single day, because one day I think I got it, and then the next day I think I don't, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go again. Like, back to the drawing board. Let me do some more meditations. Let me go out and take another walk in nature. Let me take a nice Epsom salt bath. Let me get my crystals out and my candles, and let me listen to some nice solfeggio music that, you know, correlates to the different chakras and help me rebalance myself again and get centered. And if I don't feel great today, that's okay. I'm going to go easy. I'm going to go slow. I'm going to tread softly on this beautiful planet, and do no harm, and try to make somebody feel good. And if that somebody is me, then I'm going to make me feel good today so that I can make you feel good tomorrow.
That's right. Working together as team. And Erica, we're going down for a minute and a half already. Another great show, rocking the airways. I knew it would happen. You know, I counted on it.
It always goes fast. Yeah,
it does. But anyway, I want to thank you, Erica, for coming back on air this evening, and another wonderful podcast, and inviting you back in 2025, because I'm booked up till the rest of the year.
And, of course you are. I'm so happy for you. That's amazing.
It is amazing, you know.
It is.
And so, Mama Cat, thank you for all your coming on and being all your support, former guests, you know, for the Colony Cats, 100 of them. So she's out there. She's got a huge heart, too. And my Facebook friend, Heroin, thank you for all your support out there, because, you know, all of us together can make a difference. We've got to at least try and do what's right here.
Thank you for taking my call.
Tammy that called in, please, you know, thank you for calling in. Get with me, and we'll try to get some attention on this, okay? And then next week, everyone, going to walk up Colby Steiner and Diana Munez on Gentle Giants Elephant Stay Home Project. We're coming back. They're wonderful too. Yeah, so we always have these great lineups with guests, and it's just so uplifting and inspiring, you know, that we all really do care. But I hope all of you have a wonderful evening. And
thanks,
okay,
Debbie.
ladies, you ready? paw in hand.
United we stand.
Against all
Against all animals,
neglect, and cruelty
across the land. Good night, everyone. May God bless you all and stay safe.
Thanks, you guys. Bye.
Good night, Erica, Debbie, Mama Cat,
Hurricane Milton,
Tammy,
and Hurricane Helene, and your prayers, and hope everything gets better. Get the feet back on the ground.
Absolutely.
These natural disasters do not stop. Okay. So please help them any way you can. Good night, everyone.
Amen.
Good night, Good night, Erica.
Rising
Good night.
Good
night, Good night, Mary Ellen. Good night, Mother.
Good night.
Listen, everyone makes messes. It's just a part of life. And the bigger you live, the bigger the mess, if you know what I mean. That's why you need Fabuloso. With twice the active cleaning ingredients, it just completely takes the drama out of any mess. It smells great while you clean. The only way to describe it is the scent of passion. And once you're done cleaning, it lasts so long. You know, if you make a mess, you can get your home dramatically clean with Fabuloso. No worries.